Let's create a beautiful bracelet design. I'm going to string up this very basic bracelet with a fold-over magnetic clasp to show how these clasps are great on just about any jewelry design. For this design, I will use fishing line as my stringing material, and I measure out about 8 inches twice and a little bit extra, if that makes sense. I start by looping the string through the fold-over magnetic clasp, which is a mistake later you'll find out. And here are the tiny silver beads that I utilize in just about every design. This spaces out the string for the clasp. Once I have the spacing right, I'll string up the rest of the bracelet, putting both strands through each hole of the bead, making a single strand bracelet. Finishing off with the clasp, making sure that they're facing the same direction. At this point in the design, I realized the bracelet is way too short. I did not knot the clasp on just yet, so I could make sure everything was good before I finished. Remember how I started with the loop in the one end of the clasp? Well, now that loop needs to be cut. This works because I have enough string in my design, but if I didn't, then I would have to start all over. I removed the tiny silver beads and set them aside, and clamp both ends with hemostats. You can also use a bead stopper. I added a couple of single beads at each end to lengthen the bracelet overall and not upset the pattern. Finally, put the clasp back on, adding the tiny little silver beads and then the clasp on each end. Do a final measure and put it on to make sure that it's the right length. Then knot the clasp on and voila, you're done. A beadboard would have made it a little bit easier, but this is showing you how you can make bracelets without a beadboard. Follow along for more beading tutorials.